It's puck time. It's Monday. I'm the Prez from wagertalk.com, and we've got Alex Badass Smith and Andrew McInnis from Sports Memo. And boys, lots to talk about before we get into the 5-pack of games going on tonight. 4-pack of games going on tonight. Let's start with, how was your weekend in Punta Cana, Andrew?
I'm disappointed to be back. The only reason I'm happy to be back is because of the playoffs, and the weather is actually decent here, so it's nice to kind of bring back some warm weather here. But I can't imagine living a life like that for a long period of time. But I mean,
No, you
the
can't.
drink, girls, the resort was amazing, so I loved it.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it's better than your audio, which permanently sucks. But anyway, that's a different story. Badass, how was your weekend?
My weekend was very nice. It was calm here. All the snow has melted outside in Minnesota, so just hung out, watching games, cashed a bunch of my bets. Had a great UFC card. That was awesome. Of course, yesterday we saw history with Tiger Woods. Winning his first Masters in a long time, his first major in well over a decade. So props to him, and just a good sports weekend all around.
Well, the Tiger Woods bailed me out. I have not had a good start to the NHL playoffs, but I bet Tiger on Wednesday at 18-1.
Nice.
And that bailed me out, man. I went 1-1 to start the NBA playoffs. I don't want to talk about my NHL playoffs. I'm a little bit embarrassed and frustrated. But
were you the guy that put 85 grand on Tiger then?
Yeah, that was me. But
Bailed him out big time, I guess.
But I'm not as frustrated as the Tampa Bay Lightning. Let's start there, boys. I told everyone to take Columbus at plus 380 or whatever it was on the series, and I actually was stupid enough to release Tampa Bay to my clients yesterday. I honestly thought that they would go in there and lay the smack down. I thought that they would turn the season around. It's 3-0. I am baffled. They've scored 2 goals in the last 2.5 games. This is a team that averaged 3.89 goals a game this season. Alex, let's start with you. I mean, what are your thoughts on what we're seeing in this Tampa Bay Columbus series?
I mean, it looked like it was going to be business as usual at the end of the 20 minutes of game one. Tampa Bay was up 3-0. Offense was clicking on all cylinders. Sergei Bobrovsky looking like a bum in the playoffs. Things we were all expecting. And then everything just completely shifted. Like you said, Columbus has been outscoring Tampa Bay 12-2 ever since. And that's not even the most shocking part, because we know Columbus, when they put their offense together, they get things rolling. They can be one of the better offenses in the league. But their defense, the way they have just completely neutralized everything, every single strength Tampa Bay has, from digging deep in the corners, clean passing along the blue line, quality shots. Everything has just been shut down. So kudos to the defensive core for Columbus, and Sergei Bobrovsky, of course, finally stepping up, playing like he's done during the regular season time and time again. This guy's the Vezina Trophy winner. He's actually looking like it now in the postseason. And Tampa Bay is in serious trouble. John Cooper is now just 36-31 in playoff games. He gets swept. They get swept here. You got to actually kind of put him on the hot seat in a sense, because it's a guy who just can't get it done in the postseason, and poses some serious questions if this offseason starts much earlier than expected.
Andrew, what you want to add to that at all? And also, what the hell are you drinking?
Just this fruit punch.
How old are you?
Doesn't really help my case, does it, Prez?
Who the hell with pubic hair drinks fruit punch?
Unless it's vodka in it.
I'm completely shaved down there, actually.
You're completely shaved? Let's see. Show us. Come on.
No, but
He didn't get back from the islands.
I was on Tampa yesterday too.
You know what? I want to stop you there quickly. Anybody who listens to the show who is actually completely shaved, let me know how you achieve that completeness, because I am extremely shaved, but not completely. I can't figure out the last step.
A simple Google search could help you there, Prez.
I want our listeners to participate. Andrew?
No, Prez, I was on them too, and it wasn't as much of a worry about Kucherov being out of the lineup, but when Strawman and Hedman are out of the lineup, that can really hurt you big time. this is a point that's really I've been saying and everybody else knows about the NHL playoffs. It is a different beast. It is an aggressive type style of game. And I don't know why Tampa Bay is trying to be involved in a game like that. Yesterday, after every single time a goalie freezes the puck, a scrum ensues. And that does not positively affect the Tampa Bay Lightning. Columbus is tougher. They're stronger. They're better at the trash talk type game. And we have to give credit to Tortorella. I mean, he is playing an outstanding defensive game. He's locking things up. He's not letting Tampa Bay just stream down the ice. And realistically, it didn't matter how long it took Panarin, Duchesne, Dzingel, those guys to get going, because all that matters is what they're doing now. And they've absolutely come to play. We've seen Bobrovsky play an outstanding game. And, Vasilevsky got a little bit of flack in the first couple of games, but yesterday's game was not his fault. I don't think so. And it's sad to see, but it goes to show that once it comes to the playoffs, anything can happen. It's a whole new game. And these guys just can't find their offense. But one more point on that. I feel like they're trying to be a little bit too cute, a little too fancy. And when you're down 2-0, about to be down 3-0, you should be firing everything on net, everything that you can. But yet they're going for the backdoor pass, trying to tee up the perfect one-timer. I get it. You want to make that perfect play so you can score. But when it comes down to it, you got to get that shot count up and just, fire pucks on net, try to create some rebounds, because it just seemed to me like it wasn't there, guys.
Everything you're saying right now is relatable to the Leafs, the way they played in the second game. And I want to talk about that. But before we get into that, I want to give out some promos. We've got an absolute massive promotion at sportsmemo.com. It's only for today. It's the largest promotion we have ever given on our site. Head over to sportsmemo.com. Get 3 days, the next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from any single person for $1. $1 for the next 3 days. So if you haven't played Alex, if you haven't played Andrew, Teddy, Rob Vino, the rest of the team, there's a lot of guys. Head over to sportsmemo.com, $1 for the next 3 days. And at Wager Talk, it's $9 for any package today. Guys, really quick, everything you said is so relevant to the way the Leafs played on Saturday night. And the problem here is this. And I texted this to Carm. I said, why are the Leafs trying to hit Boston? Like, why? Are they going to hurt them? Are they going to frustrate them? I don't understand their strategy on Saturday night. Just skate, damn it, skate. You don't need to hit the guy. You're not going to hurt him. You're like 160 pounds soaking wet playing one of the strongest, toughest teams in the league. Just outskate him, for damn sake. And also stop with the cute shit. You see Mitch Marner in front of the net there in the first period, pass the puck to nobody when he could have had. He actually raises the puck right there in the net. It's a goal. I don't get it. And Nas, oh my God. I mean, does this guy have a brain?
Doesn't seem like it.
That makes me so happy to hear you say that, Prez, because every Leafs fan is just upset about DeBrusk. But I think at some point you got to realize and put some blame on.
I don't know. DeBrusk didn't.
He's not your top guy.
DeBrusk didn't do anything wrong. He went out there and hit like crazy. So what? Yeah, look, could the knee on knee have been a penalty? Sure, but it wasn't some egregious penalty. I mean, Nas just got frustrated and he really screwed up. And frankly, from my perspective, he needs to be gone. He's going to be suspended for the entire series. And next year, he needs not to be on this roster, which will actually free up some space to give Marner, 10 times, 110, because Marner is a monster. Guys, let's get into it. Oh, lastly, New York Islanders, 3-0 against Pittsburgh. Did not see this coming. Smothering defense. Sidney Crosby not a point in the series. They are on a head-to-head collision with Trotz's former team. How exciting is that going to be?
Yeah, it's gonna be a great series.
Prez, you know I'm a Crosby fan, but I saw someone tweet yesterday that on a great Masters day, Sidney Crosby shot a -3, and I gotta say those jokes crack me up because it's sad to see, but I thought it was pretty funny.
Okay. Let's get to it, boys. Toronto tonight, -115, hosting Boston. We don't have full confirmation yet, but we assume Naz won't play. That really changes everything, guys. I mean, now you're going to have probably Nylander playing center. That changes 2 lines, not 1. Marleau might play center, but he's really almost pointless in this series. The over and under here is 6, and I've been riding the over in the Toronto-Boston series. I am 0-2 in that. I still think it's going to go over, and I like the Leafs here. I actually think Naz getting suspended might rally the Leafs at least for 1 game. I like Toronto and the over. Alex, we'll go to you first.
Well, it's interesting. The mantra of the rest of the series needs to be teams need to play their own game. You just touched on it.
Right.
With Toronto trying to hit Boston in Game 2. The same thing where we saw on the flip side of Game 1 with Boston trying to outskate Toronto. It just doesn't make sense. Just these guys need to play their own game, play their own style. And I think we're going to see that tonight. I think it's going to lead to some goals, too. I like this over quite a bit, over 6 at even money. I think we're going to see goals going both ways here. I tried to take a shot with the draw in Game 2. That didn't work, obviously. I'm thinking that eventually we're going to see things tighten down a little bit. Might see some playoff, some overtime spots here in this series. Could be tonight, but the one thing I like more than anything else is going to be the over 6 tonight.
Andrew?
I mean, it's like you guys said, adjustments are the biggest thing in the playoffs. And if you're a Leafs fan, like you are, Prez, you're absolutely satisfied with that Game 1. I mean, that is the most perfect game.
It was a perfect game.
Defensively and offense. That's perfect. It was perfect. But the problem is Anderson has played so great in both games, and yet they kind of couldn't help him out whatsoever in Game 2. But just like you, Prez, I thought this would be an over series. Game 1, I was all over the over. And then I took Boston in Game 2. Now in this one, I'm going back to the well with the over. I feel like this is the one where the floodgates open up. Last game was very aggressive. There were still lots of scoring opportunities. But I get a feeling in this one, we start seeing everybody come out to play. Toronto back at home now. I think especially, guys, I like the full game over. But at the price we're getting for the first period over, -115, 120, that's a solid price here. I think these two teams come out flying. Yesterday, last game was so aggressive. I feel like this time we finally see a little more skill breakout. This is a game for Nylander. This is a game for Matthews. I would look at some anytime goal scoring props as well.
I watch Matthews in the playoffs, and then I watch Nathan McKinnon, and it's like, would I trade Matthews for McKinnon straight up? And the answer is hell yes.
He's not soft.
That's the key, and and we're seeing it with Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is showing themselves to be a soft team. Matthews just doesn't have the hunger. I mean, Nathan McKinnon is screaming at his own players. I don't know if you saw one of the face-offs in their end. McKinnon was literally pointing to where he wanted all 4 of the other guys on the ice. This guy's a leader and a monster player. Do I think Matthews has more skill? Sure. But where is his fire? Carolina, -130 against Washington. The over and under came out at 5.5. It's now at 6. Washington got lucky in the last game. They won in overtime, but I think we're going to get a great effort from Carolina this game. I actually like Carolina minus the 130, and I like under the total of 6. I actually think Washington's going to score at most 2 goals tonight, and I think this is going to start shaping up into a series because Carolina has played really well in both games. Andrew, I go to you first.
Yeah, I think Carolina has played great in both games as well. It's been fun for me. I followed the series and stuff like that during my vacation, but coming back and looking at some film and looking at some of what the media has been saying, this Carolina team has been involved. They've been close and they've been having so many scoring chances. Now I think heading back home, I see improved goaltending. I see improved defense. I see a lot of comfortability. Some teams when they're down, it's good for them to go on the road and play. But this team right now, they're going to feel at home. They're going to feel comfortable. And we know what this Carolina team's been all about. The saying, the bunch of jerks. I think this is a time when they really come out to play. But, Prez, I agree with you. If this Carolina team wants to be successful, they have to keep things lower scoring. You don't want to compete in a high-scoring game with defending Cup champions. So my leans would be as well, the same as you, Carolina and the under.
Alex, any quick thoughts?
Yeah, I like Washington here in this spot. I think the first period over, which is cashed twice already, is a good spot here. I mean, holding Washington 2 goals, unless Cam Ward or Artur Zerbe is walking through the door, I don't see McElhinney or Mrazek holding this Caps team to 2 goals, especially when they're taking dumb penalties, giving this power play ample chances. You know where Ovechkin's going to be parked in front of the net. They still can't stop him. He's still going to find a way to score. And this is a Washington team. Look back last year, all 4 series they clinched en route to winning the Stanley Cup, all on the road. They went 10-3 away from DC last year in the playoffs. Change scenery won't mean much here. I think Washington takes care of business tonight.
Next game on the board, boys. Dallas hosting Nashville. I told you guys at the beginning that Dallas was going to be a tough out. They've shown that. They lost in overtime 2-1, but they did get the split, and they're coming home tonight. They're minus 120. The over and under came out at 4.5. It's now at 5. I'm on the over in this game, and I like Dallas as well. Andrew, I'll go to you. Alex, I'll go to you first.
Yeah, I mean, the over makes total sense here because all you need is a 2-2 game.
Yeah.
To go into OT to cash it, and I think that's exactly what we're going to see here. I like the draw at plus 270. Missed in the first game, did hit that in the second game. I wouldn't be shocked to see this, and I said that going in this, all of these games could end up going into OT the way that these two teams play. The two teams that do trend under, but when you start talking about 4.5s and 5s, obviously you have to start looking at that over because we've seen these teams get a lot of chances. That 2-1 game the other night, that could have easily been a 4-3 or a 5-4 kind of game with some of the chances. We got some good goaltending here, as always, from Bishop and Rene. So I expect more of the same here. Low kind of.
I lost Alex for a second there.
Game.
Andrew, what do you think in this game?
I think Nashville hasn't had their best game yet. And I think that, the scoring chances have been there for Dallas, and they've missed a couple opportunities. I feel like both those games should have been Dallas's games, and by marginal. So I feel like looking at this one here, I think this is going to be the best game we've seen out of Nashville all series long. I feel like they really come to play. I feel like they finally put some goals in the back of the net, and they really settle down defensively. The problem is when you have players that are defensemen that love to jump up into the rush, you have to make sure you have that forward taking that position or coming back and helping you out. And that's what we haven't really seen as much from Nashville, what's been leading to all these chances for Dallas. But I feel like in this game alone, those kind of chances with the defenseman jumping into the rush will lead to goals. Sometimes people say that, like I said before, when you're playing on the road, you can almost be more comfortable, less nervous than playing at home, trying to satisfy your home fans, etc. I feel like that's the case here tonight. I feel like Nashville goes on the road and takes care of business against Dallas.
He's Andrew. The other guy's Alex. I'm the Prez. It's puck time, boys. And just real quick before we get into the Calgary, Colorado game, Teddy has his first 5-star baseball play of the year. It's up. It's at both Sports Memo and Wager Talk. You can get it for $9, or of course you can get it for $1. If you go to sportsmemo.com, and you can get that for $1 plus all of Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm struggling with this Colorado-Calgary series, guys. I've been on the over 2 games in a row. Both have lost, and I don't get it. It's wide open hockey. It's fast as hell. There's a million chances, and neither team are really able to close. Mike Smith has played outstanding. Calgary's on the road tonight. They're minus 125. It's 1-1 in the series. The over and under here is 6, and I'm going back to the well again. I'm playing on the over. Andrew?
Am I crazy for thinking this is too good of a price for Calgary right now? I mean, after that game we saw out in Colorado last game, I understand it was a good performance. They had lots of chances. Potentially they could have been around in both games, but This is still the same Calgary Flames team that we saw be successful all season long.
Is it? Because they haven't scored many goals in the last 10 to 15 games.
I know it's good to, and I get it. It's good to learn from what you've seen. I understand that, but I still look at these line pairings, and I look at Colorado's, and I look at Nathan McKinnon, and who else did I really think in my head was going to score that game winner besides him or besides Landeskog? Because it's not too many other guys. You look at Calgary. If you and I and Alex are doing an OT challenge and picking our guys who are going to win, if those two teams are in overtime, there's a hell of a lot more guys you're going to pick for Calgary versus Colorado. And that's what it really comes down to in this one. It's a value play for me. A lot of times in the playoffs, you have to lay a lot of juice. This is actually great odds, minus 120 with Calgary, coming off a mediocre performance. Mike Smith, you mentioned it, Prez, he's playing well. He's bailing them the hell out. He's playing. He's not going to play out of his mind at all. Prez, I think you'll get your over tonight, but I'm taking Calgary here. This will be their best game of the series. It's disappointing because, like you said, there's been so many chances, but such little goals. Great to see good goaltending, but I don't think that happens tonight. I think they really proved this. It's like you said, Prez, about Toronto and Tampa Bay. As big of a team Calgary can be, I don't think they're built for that physical game. I mean, you see it. Johnny Gaudreau is literally getting hacked on his wrist, on his arm, everywhere, and it's not being called. They have to get back to their speed game, get pucks deep, and be fast. Get shots on net, because the second Calgary starts playing physical, they're falling right into Colorado's trap. So I feel like stick to their game plan, and they'll be successful tonight.
Alex, any quick thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, this is what playoff hockey is all about. It's all about those secondary guys, those no-name guys stepping up in big times. Guys like Tyson Berry, guys like Rasmus Anderson for Calgary. We know about the top guys, the big names all year, but having good goaltending, Barry, like I said, we haven't seen this kind of great goaltending from Mike Smith since he was wearing a Coyotes jersey. Philip Grubauer, like I said, stepping up in a big spot for the second spring in a row, I should say. So we're having good goaltending, and we're having some of these role players stepping up in big spots where we don't expect them to. So this is a game. I'm not going to touch this total at all, and I expect it to probably still stay around that under mark or be close to it. But definitely a great price here with Calgary. A bounce back spot going on the road. Like I said, it was a great spot for Colorado. I was on that Colorado play in game 2. I thought 200 was just too high of a price, knowing that this is a team that can slow things down and grind it out. And I expect more of the same here, but I think Calgary will end up getting the win and taking the series lead again.
He's Alex. I'm the Prez. Andrew's with us. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Lots on tap today. First pitch with Ralph Michaels. Morning Joe with Teddy. We'll be discussing baseball in first pitch and NBA in Morning Joe. Boys, the lineup for this week, Alex, will give you a day off so that Andrew can do a show with Carm. So we'll have Carm and Alex tomorrow, Carm and Andrew on Wednesday, and then maybe these two idiots again on Thursday and Friday.
You don't like all at once, Prez?
What?
Too crowded to do all at once?
It's just too many voices.
Right.
Anyway, boys, thanks so much. Enjoy the games tonight. Go Leafs, go.
All right, see you guys.